up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match and Barcelona lose the Clasico by 3-1 in a very, very poor match for the Blaugrana. I think both teams played very mediocre today. There was no outstanding team, but in the end, again, for the freaking 1000th time this season, Barcelona's individual mistakes cost them points, and today was, of course, our first loss in La Liga. The lineup for this match is on the screen. It was Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Roberto, Kounde, Eric Garcia, Balde, midfield three of Busquets, De Jong, and Pedri, and a front three of Raphinha, Lewandowski, and Ousmane Dembele. Now, going to this match, look at the lineup, thinking, you know what? This is not the perfect lineup that we all wanted as Kounde fans, but it's better than what we expected from Chavi. We all thought that he was going to start Pique, maybe start Xavi and Pedri in the midfield, and leave Frankie De Jong on the bench. Probably would have started Alonso at left back. So, from what we thought to what we saw, it was, you know, not a poor lineup, but not great. But in the end, we balled it yet again. Look, I was really considering copying my match review from the Inter match and pasting it here, because it's exactly the same thing. And I said in the Inter match for the review, hopefully our heads don't drop going to the Clasico, and they did. That's the reality. When Real Madrid score early on, you're done. I would have been shocked if we even got a draw, which was possible in the end, but of course referees, talk about them later. But again, our heads dropping in Inter. I promise you, if we beat Inter, we would have won today. But the fact that we lost against them means that we weren't going to do well in this game, and that's why I was really pissed when we did drop points against Inter. Second thing, the captains are so fucking finished. If I see one of them start midweek against Villarreal, Chavi is gonna get cooked. Look. If you're saying Chavi out, you are the most deluded and most reactionary, most hypocritical, most fucking moron fan in the world. It's been 1 week where we played like shit against Inter and against Madrid, of course. Chavi, yes, you can criticize his tactics and substitutions, which I will do later on, but he's playing with the players that he has. Bellerin injured, Memphis injured, Araujo injured, Kounde just came back from injury, De Jong just came back from injury. We're all over the place. And he's being forced to play the players. Of course, if Pique played well against Inter, he would have played today 100%. I think Chavi would have preferred to play Kounde at right back, but he couldn't play Pique at center back, and he didn't want to really fancy Alonso there. That's why Kounde played there. He started Roberto. This club will not move forward with the captains. Until they leave this club, ain't shit going to change. And I'm begging you, for all those people who are saying Chavi out, I am begging you, please open your eyes. If Chavi leaves, that motherfucker's captains are still staying. And the same shit is gonna happen again until the four cows, the four scarecrows leave. This club will be in the same position year after year after year. And I think once hopefully the team is fully fit back from all the injuries, hopefully none of the four will be in the starting lineup. Probably may think Busquets is most likely because Chavi really wants that pivot like Busquets profile. But my god, Busquets, so fucking slow. The guy got outpaced and outrun by Tony freaking Cruz, man. Player ratings, everyone gets a 0. I'll give Ansu Fati a 10. He came on and changed the game. And again, Chavi, if you don't start Ansu, you're gonna get cooked. I said leading up to this match that this lineup will really define what Chavi's, stance at Barcelona. And the lineup again was okay. It was not poor, was not perfect. He dropped Pique, dropped Alonso, kept Busquets, brought in Roberto. You're like, you know what? If I wanted to start any of the two captains, it would have been Busquets and Roberto, so we'll let it slide. If one of the motherfuckers are in the lineup this week against Villarreal and Ansu Fati does not start on top of that, Chavi is gonna get cooked. I won't say Chavi out. There will be a point this season I think I'll be Chavi out. Maybe next season if he stays and this is still going on, okay, but the reality is that both teams today, I think, were played poorly. I think if both teams turned up at their peak, Barcelona would win. But the fact today is that Real Madrid came in knowing that Barcelona were a wounded animal, and they utilized it. First goal, Busquets, Raphinha mistake. Second goal, Garcia mistake. Third goal, Garcia mistake, and that is the reality. If Real Madrid, build up from the back, worked the way through and scored, you can hold your hands up and say, you know what, they were better than us. They, played well. They broke our back line. But again, it was all mistakes again from Barcelona. If you analyze every single goal we conceded this season, it is all individual mistakes. That for me is the huge problem. Garcia on the second goal, what the fuck are you hitting it that way for? Penalty, softest shit I've ever seen in my life, and how the Lewandowski penalty was not checked is beyond me. Referee guaranteed Madrid the 3 points. We were coming back 2-1. We had pressure on them. We had some momentum, but he gave them the softest penalty I've seen in my life. Is it a penalty? Absolutely not. And I think Rodrigo is offside on that chance as well. Like, the referee, the VR showed that they didn't put the lines, so it looks blatantly offside to me. I don't know if Kounde's freaking skin on his heel is keeping him onside, but look, at the end of the day, the players did not show up. They were still yet again heads down from the match against Inter, and that's why we lost. We had a good, I'd say, last 20 minutes of the game. Once Ansu Fati came in, we played well. I think the first half, we were controlling the game. It's just like Bayern and Inter, just possession, and nothing going forward. That's all it is. We're trying to keep the ball. And I think Chavi is playing conservatively because he knows that he does not have his strongest team and that the team is vulnerable in some senses. Again, fully fit team, we're beating Madrid today 100%, because Madrid were fully fit today too. Keep that in mind. That's their best lineup. That's a lineup that won the Champions League, besides Casemiro, of course, going to United. That's their fully fit team, and they barely beat us 3-1. They were walking around treating it like a preseason. They had no intent. They didn't have the urge of going forward and get more goals. All three goals were lucky. I mean, the Benzema one, Roberto just missed it from his calf. The Eric Garcia one, the Valverde, it went through like two players' legs. Penalty was the softest one, and also Ter Stegen almost saved it. Nothing in this past week, luck-wise, has gone our way, and that's also a factor as well, because at the end of the day, you need some luck, and we didn't get it this week whatsoever. But again, the match, it's like I expected us to lose after they scored that first goal, so that's why I'm not as angry as I was against Inter, but this is shocking. This is shocking. This is two massive turning points in our seasons in the space of a week, but the season's not lost. Of course, Champions League, whether we won against Inter or not, we weren't going to win the Champions League. But La Liga, we're now 3 points behind the leaders. I think we're only 3 points ahead of Atletico Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. We'll talk about that in the match analysis. So now La Liga is becoming squeaky bum time. And like Laporta said before the match, he came out speaking to the media saying, look, no matter what happens in this match, Xavi has the full confidence in the board. But our priority this season is to win La Liga. That is the priority. That's why the club worked so hard over the summer, activated 5,000 levers. They want to win La Liga. I think we still have a chance. Again, season not lost. Yes, we've had a bad week, but still a long way to go. We have big games coming up: Villarreal, Bilbao, Bayern Munich. From now until the World Cup, we need results. If we drop points midweek, we'll now be scared about our season. I think right now our season is still intact, but a lot of things need to change, and it starts off with the manager. Again, the Chavi today, subs were completely dog crap again. I am shocked he did not do anything at halftime. How he did not bring on at least a player at halftime is beyond me. And yet again, it's him in the motherfucking 60th minute. Every time, no doubt fail, he makes a sub on the 60th minute. I don't understand why. Did you not know he can make a sub between the 45th and the 60th minute? It's beyond me. Chavi needs to improve on his subs and also his in-game management. And then you have to look at the players as well. Raphinha looked pissed off when he got subbed off, and then Dembele did as well. Mate, you're not performing. Yeah, you had 3 key passes, but what did you freaking do on that first goal? You stopped running when Toni Kroos was going after Busquets. I thought the whole point of starting Roberto right back was to have Raphinha track back and help him on that right-hand side. Raphinha did not track back. Yes, Busquets should have fouled him. Yes, Busquets should have, defended better, but Raphinha was there. You could have double teamed him, made it more difficult for Toni Kroos. Then he puts that through ball. You think, okay, it's a fair goal, individual brilliance, understand that. But no, that goal was easily preventable, as were the other 2 and the third one as well. They need to shape up. This team is under huge pressure now. If your heads are still dropped going into the Villarreal match, we might get cooked. Villarreal are a very, very, very good team. And of course, last season, they did beat us at the Camp Nou, I think, on the final day of the season, 2-1. So we need vengeance. This Villarreal game is looking bigger and bigger by every single passing day. And Chavi has a big decision to make on the captains. None of them should be starting. And also Laporta. I'm very confident now that all 4 captains will leave this summer. Because, Roberto, don't renew him. Busi, don't renew him. Pique, terminate his contract or tell him to retire. Then Jordi Alba, sent him out on loan for his last season. I'm very confident now that if this continues on, especially, that all 4 captains will leave. I have no doubt about that. The question now is, will Chavi keep using them or not? And with injuries, it forces his hands. But right now it doesn't, because we have Kounde back, you have Alonso, you have the players in the defense, you have players in the midfield as well. Kessie is screaming for D. I think right now, from now until the World Cup, Kessie deserves a run in the midfield. Whether it's at the DM or as the interior, he deserves a run in that midfield. So now there's no excuse for Chavi. You have players. If there's injuries, like, you know what? There's no one else. What are you going to do? You can't just bring in, Chavi from Barcelona B. That's not going to work in the Clasico for his first ever game. He'll be shitting himself. Balde was shitting himself today as well. First few minutes, he was looking on the ropes and then grew into it. And this is why I tell Chavi, why not starting Balde midweek? If he shit himself at the San Siro, if he started, he wouldn't be shitting himself now. He'll get that experience. When you give it to him now, it's like, what the point? But I think Balde was okay in this match as well. But again, Chavi has to show balls this week. If he starts to hit the captains, we are finished. Captains out before Chavi out. That's reality. If you bring another coach, same thing is going to happen. We'll wait and see. Overall in this match, I think both teams played like crap. The only reason why Madrid won is because we made mistakes and they didn't. And that's a reality. I think if both teams turns up, we would have won. We could have made the comeback if the referee wasn't so freaking Madrista beyond belief. How they didn't check the Lewandowski penalty, but checked the softest penalty I've ever seen in my life on Garcia is beyond me. And I don't even think they checked if whether or not Rodrigo was offside, or Rodrigo, however you say it, was offside or not. But again, the team have fucked it this week. Well, we've already criticized them, and I'm still criticizing them to this day. I think the only player on the pitch today that played well was Ansu Fati and maybe Pedri at times. I think everyone else was shocking. I think Kounde had a first few minutes, but then he kind of blended in with Eric Garcia and Balde and Roberto and all of them. The team is under huge pressure now. You balled a huge week. You got 2 big weeks before the World Cup, and then big weeks after the World Cup. Once January hits, that's when game time is. That's when the Copa comes back. That's when the Super Cup comes back. And that's when La Liga becomes crunch time as well. If you're going to slip up, if you want to slip up now. If we slip up now, then we go on a great run in February, January, March, April, whatever. We can hold that. Maybe this week was, give us those indications that with the captains were finished and that Chavi needs to wake up, and hopefully everyone learns from that. And I think Chavi is realizing that as well, because he took off Busquets at the 60th minute. I've never seen Chavi do that since he was appointed last November. So Chavi's already, I tweeted this during the game as well, Chavi's already realized that Jordi Alba and Pique are finished. But I think now he's realizing that Busquets and Roberto are on that same boat as well. So overall, shocking day, disappointing day, disgraceful day, but it's time to move. We have to. We'll talk about it a bit more in the match analysis, but we heads up and learn from your mistakes. I'm begging you, learn from your individual mistakes defensive-wise. Garcia, Kounde, Busquets, all of you keep making mistakes and costing us goals. Please, motherfucking learn from it. That's all I'm asking for. Shit day, we'll have the whole day else from the Madrid fans, but I tell you what, when they come back to the Camp Nou, it is going to be rocking, and that's when La Liga will be crunch time, and I guarantee you we will win that game 100%. But overall, Madrid could have bashed us 4-0, and they didn't. I think if you think about it, our last few years, of course, have been the worst in the club's history. Never have Madrid battered us. I think the worst was 3-0, maybe 3-1. They never beat us no matter what, and we beat them 4-0 last season, so hold that as well. We'll move on. I'm very disappointed. I'm going to be entering depressed mode, I think, for the next 24 to 40 hours. But when that match preview comes out for Villarreal, it's go time. So I'm very disappointed. I'm shocked by the players. Captain's out, Busquets out, Roberto out, Pique out, Jordi Alba out, and Chavi, wake your ass up. That's a match review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like button and also leave me your thoughts down below in the comments. What would you do for the upcoming lineup this week? What are your thoughts on the match? Are your captains out or Chavi out? Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care. As always, Visca Barca, Visca Catalunya. We will be back this next few weeks before the World Cup are going to be absolutely huge. And we're going to be there supporting the team. The question now is, will the team perform? Take care. Forza Barca.